I believe that data continues to be extremely important. And as a person with an advanced degree in mathematics and an MBA in finance, and who has some understanding of digital, my concern is not that clients are not thinking how important data is, or marketers, but how they have gone overboard and thinking it's the only thing. And as I tell people that people choose brands with hearts and not with numbers. The other is that the areas and words that clients use about resonance, authenticity, purpose, and trust are not numerical. And so if you tilt too much towards the store or the spreadsheet or the data side of the business, it's likely to impact your brand, your culture, and your own future. Because the more your business is only based on machines and spreadsheets, you will also be out of a job.
So what's the other side of the equation that has to be more of a priority? Is it the creative process? Is it the people?
It's an equal process. So it's basically you need both. You need, I call the spreadsheet. The other side I call the story. Okay, the story and the meaning, which is what do people feel? What are their emotions? How do they engage? Right? What do those numbers mean in context? So for instance, if you can see some numbers, and if you don't interrogate them correctly, if you don't interpret them correctly, if you don't have different people looking at them, you will actually come up with strange results. So what tends to happen is without the humanity looking at the data, you end up in a different place. So my stuff is bring the humanity, bring the story, bring the emotion, and don't just let the numbers decide. Interpret the numbers, investigate the numbers, and then you're likely to have a much better solution than just a numerical one.
What do you think in terms of the opportunities around television and the sort of data-driven world? What could be the right balance?
So I think the big issue with today is the entire business, which also is now moving into television, is besotted with what I call plumbing, okay? Which is how do you reach the right person at the right time? But no one is thinking about in the right context and what do you actually say, right? So too much plumbing, too little poetry. So my basic belief is we have to basically think about how do people respond to different messages, interactions, and communication, and what is that emotional response? Because if you find 6 different audiences and send them the same message, or the message is just the same video with like little slight differences, that's not a new story, it's just versioning. So a lot of the companies now I'm now looking at, including one that I'm helping, a company called Dumbstruck, it basically allows people to understand what the emotional response to all videos are before you actually put it out there. So you can actually see through people's eye movements what their emotions are: anger, sadness, humor. And then that allows you to actually decide what your messaging, your marketing is versus just your media plan. And you need both. And so the big part of it is if the television world becomes sort of like the online world, it'll just be a bunch of rubbish finely tuned.
And what about performance around that, around television? What do marketers want?
Marketers want 4 different things. On what is the input side, they want to reach as many of the right people as cost effectively as possible. So that's a thing that they want, right? And if it's going to be more expensive to reach a particular audience, they want to make sure they reach enough of it and large enough of it to make an impact for their business. So it's not only do they want to reach the right people, but they want to reach enough people. Because if you don't reach enough people, you're not going to build your brand. And often one of the big issues with growth is you're reaching the same people again and again that everybody else is also trying to compete with. On the other side, what they basically want is they want people to emotionally engage with and resonate with the brand, which is the storytelling part of it. And television and video has been very good at doing that. But increasingly, you now need to basically have different videos. It usually can't have the same video. And if the same video works, then you don't have to spend a whole bunch of time targeting. So it's that balance. And in many ways, what has tended to happen is there was a generation where the creative led marketing. Then there's been a generation where media has led marketing. And now we're moving into a generation where the two have to work together. So as I basically say, we have to go from relevance to resonance, right? From data to data and emotion. And basically from media to message.